This is the Sunshine Cathedral perspective. Religious spaces affirm that LGBTQ people are under attack. More than 150 anti-LGBTQ plus incidents have targeted affirming religious communities across the United States since June 2022, according to the data released by GLAAD Alert Desk. The report documents a wave of violence and harassment against churches, synagogues, mosques, and temples that openly support LGBTQ plus inclusion. The incidents include death threats, vandalism, harassment, attempted arson, physical assault, and bomb threats. GLAAD first reported in early 2024 that it had tracked more than 60 such incidents. Since then, more than 90 additional attacks have come to light, bringing the total to 151. Sarah Moore of GLAAD recently said, and I'm quoting, "At a time of increased divisiveness, it's more important than ever that we build bridges for everyone impacted by hate, including those targeted by anti-LGBTQ hate, Islamophobia, antisemitism, and racism," end quote. In New Jersey, the First Congregational United Church of Christ received death threats in March after their local Moms for Liberty chapter falsely accused the church of supporting pedophilia for flying a pride flag. One threat said that the church should be punished with, quote, gasoline and a match, end quote. The pastor Mark Suriano addressed the threats in a later sermon, quoting, "It was a weekend of terror, grief, and exclusion, but the outpouring of support far surpassed the hateful, violent rhetoric against us," end quote. In Connecticut, anti-LGBTQ graffiti was scrawled across the pride-themed walkway at Immanuel Congregational Church days before its scheduled pride event. In Michigan, police arrested a man in 2024 for plotting a mass shooting targeting LGBTQ plus people, religious institutions, schools, and hospitals. GLAAD report comes as an anti-LGBTQ rhetoric continues to escalate nationwide, fueled by right-wing political attacks and disinformation campaigns. This is just a sad time I think we find ourselves living in. And this is one of those times that we have to remind ourselves of the importance of standing together, being together, and being in community, and being aware that there is ills out there, that people of ill will want to do harm to people for no better reason than they feel that they can and they should and they ought to. Just because there are groups of organizations, groups of people, as individuals who may choose to live their lives differently than they do, or places that may be more inclusive than your place. And it's more than, I think can't we just all get along? We're beyond that now.
Yeah.
We ought to all get along because we're still reminded that we all breathe the same air. We all sit on this one planet that we have. We all have the limited resources available to us all. And this is the time to remind ourselves that there are no haves and have-nots when it comes to this. But people who want to target other groups of people just for pure hate, that's not acceptable.
Yeah.
That's just not acceptable. And I don't care. I mean, we're very much in a charged political environment right now.
Yeah.
Very much in a charged political environment right now, where the gay community, especially the trans community, are being targeted. We're in a charged community now where universities who want to support open education and teaching things that are very diverse, the government is against that. We are living in a time where institutions who would do good for people to help people with suicide hotline, funding are being taken away from that. So I think we just have to remind ourselves we can be under attack at any time. And it's how do we respond to these things also? I don't believe escalating, I'm being threatened, so let me escalate my threat back towards you. I was talking to someone recently, and they were saying, Robert, one of the ways we have to deal with this is that we got to get people to the table to talk. And in the back of my head, I'm saying, I don't want to get to the table and talk to these people. Yet, if we're going to make it work, if we're going to make a difference, we have to find ways, even within our own community first, the LGBTQ plus community, to make these things work, present a united front, and then let's begin to address these larger issues at large, because there's not going to be any one single group, any one single organization that's going to be able to attack everything that's going on politically right now. And a lot of the right-wing stuff that's happening, it is being felt as if it is being endorsed by the highest office of our land. And we have to be mindful that, everything has to have a start somewhere, and we have to be mindful of how we start and protect our own, educate ourselves, protect ourselves, and let's share that back to the community at large.
Yeah, there's just a simple reminder, hatred and violence, that's not justice, and that's not righteousness. So we all get angry. In fact, it would be obscene if you didn't get angry about some things. But, there's be angry and sin not. I mean, there's anger, and then there's how do you channel that anger? What do you do with it? If what you're doing with your anger is graffiti and bomb threats, you're not helping anything. You're not making anything better. This guy in Michigan, he was planning to mess up hospitals where there's sick people, schools where there's kids, churches where people are worshiping and not on alert at all. How's the world going to be better? How are you going to be better? But people get ginned up. People get these MAGA rallies and these MAGA politicians, and everything's just hate and mean, and let's take this outside, one congresswoman to another. Oh my God. Just treating trans people as if they have to be kept out of bathrooms because, and it's not even about the real trans people, but if you welcome trans people, then somebody might pretend to be trans just to get in there and hurt your kids. Because that happened ever? No, not once. Not once. Nobody is going to go to the trouble of trying to present as another type of human just to lie in wait so that when someone's washing their hands, they can be pounced. I know there's evil in the world. I know there's bad people, but try to use some data. Try to confront things that have happened. Things that are going to, you just can't say, well, this might happen. And because this might happen, we're going to have to exclude all these people who aren't even being accused of doing it.
Yeah.
It's just insane. It's just insane. And this pedophilia thing, whenever people are on the socials, they're always mean, they're always Christian, they're always white, they're always fools. When they say, well, the pedophilia and the children and kids, blah, blah, blah. And I always stop it right there. I said, if you think anybody is guilty of that, you need to stop this conversation and report them now.
Immediately.
This is a police phone call because that child needs to be saved. Name the child this is happening to, and let's take care of it right now. Do you know that never happens? So this is just, we care about kids. We like kids. We love kids. And so when you think kids are threatened, better not be my kids. I'm in my neighborhood. Okay, but who is it?
Right.
Let's do protect the child in danger. Who is it?
Yeah.
Who's posing the danger? Not somebody reading a story in a public library in front of witnesses. It's not that drag queen, you idiot. So if there's a person threatening children or exploiting children, I won't even mention little girl beauty pageants. Oh,
Hallelujah.
I guess I did.
Oh my gosh.
When you were dressing a 4-year-old like a Vegas Strip prostitute, who is exploiting? Who is grooming? As opposed to somebody dressed like a clown, basically, reading a story in front of their parents in a well-lit public, so it's just, you stir up all this hatred and evil, and it's not even about anything real. Meanwhile, if you really care about child abuse, report it. Yeah. If you suspect it, if you see it, don't come at me with some ridiculous accusation to make me sad or hurt my feelings. If somebody's in danger, report it right now. Because if you think it's happening and you're not reporting it, you're an accomplice.
Yeah.
You're part of the abuse. So stop with that ridiculousness. You don't think gay people are just out trolling to hurt kids, or trans people are trying to snatch up your wife in the bathroom, or you don't think any of that. And if you have evidence, see, this is my whole new thing right now. You need evidence. You need data. I don't care about dogma. I don't care about prejudice. I don't care about traditions. I'm just over it. Bring me the data, and then let's act on it. But you don't need data. You've just got the same old hateful foolishness that's been going on in this country since we stole it from the people who lived here and then drug people who live somewhere else here to build our fortunes for us. It's time to say this is our legacy, and until we admit it and atone for it, we're not getting any better. I don't know what the topic was about, but that's what I had to say.
but you're right. It's always about, let's protect the children.
Yeah.
And you know what? That's a great selling point. Nobody wants children hurt. Nobody wants children hurt. Of course not. But these people, they might do something that might hurt children. No.
Hell
no, not even a little bit. Or, what about our wives? What about the women? What if somebody is lying in wait in the bathroom to... Go ahead, try it.
Right.
You're going to be on the floor writhing. I can pretty much guarantee that. So, yeah, no, you're just using this to target people, to hurt people. Yeah, no, just stop.
And bathrooms are pretty standard. Like, here's the sinks, here's the things, here's the little table, to change your baby or whatever. If somebody's out of place, lurking, you'd notice it pretty quick. You're not just going to stay in there and let me make conversation with this threatening person. Yeah. You would walk out, you'd tell somebody. So it's just not even a reasonable scenario.
No. And if you're worried about your wife going in the bathroom and being picked up on or being hit up on by another woman in the bathroom, you got issues in your relationship.
Exactly.
That has nothing to do with what you think.
Nothing to do with all of this.
You got other issues in your relationship.
Oh my goodness. What was the time? Attacks on LGBTQ religious institutions. And it is happening. And I remember the first time I went to an MCC in New Jersey. The church met on the Rutgers campus at 6:30 in the evening, and it was the middle of February. My husband and I get to the church late because this little chapel was hidden from the world. But we finally found it. We walk in. When you walk in not to the middle of the sanctuary. Everybody stopped and turned around. So when we go into the fellowship hall after the service, one of the women come up to us and go, "Well, we didn't know whether you were coming in to hurt us or not." And I'm like, well, it's 6:30 on a Sunday night on the Rutgers campus in a chapel. I don't think that my husband and I are in here to hurt you. And I understood what she was saying. Because our churches, when we meet, we are always at full alert. The ushers at our church are aware of things that can happen. We regularly do crisis training so that nothing bad will happen. And it's a sad time that we have to do it. And we do it because of the world that we live in. The rhetoric that's coming out of the White House, the rhetoric that is coming out of the head of this country is the nastiest that I can ever remember it being. You've got a person in there who gives not a hoot for anybody. And that's the part that people maybe not understand. It's not just the LGBTQ plus community. It's everybody that this administration is going after. They are deporting American citizens. They are deporting children. So we have to understand that we are in a different place than we were a few years ago. So yeah, the fear is there, and the solution is sitting down at a table and having an adult conversation. Why is that so difficult? Bishop, when you said it, I was like, oh my God, yes. We can fix things if we acknowledge that there's a problem. At this table, we have acknowledged that there's a problem, and we know that there is a solution.
I walked into my first gay bar in 1986.
Wow.
And after that, I probably had been to 10 before I ever went to one that had a sign on the outside of the building. Because fear.
Yeah.
You had to know somebody to know where it was, to know which side of the building to even try to get in. And then there was somebody at the door when you got there. All of these precautions. And that was 1986. It is 2025, and we're still talking about people not being safe in queer spaces. Pulse.
Well.
Amen.
This is a segment like this is the way you know what to pray for. And what's going on in our community. And
But we're here. And we're not going
Not
anywhere.
going anywhere.
And we're not shutting up.
And we are queer.
And we are queer, and we're here for queers.
Yes.
We're going to be okay. And that's